Hey everyone, welcome. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You're watching Open BxRx. And coming up on today's show, we'll check in with a returning guest and his cousin to learn about how they are becoming, or how they became business partners, and how they are empowering Black and brown children. Then we'll hear from a lawyer who's made his way into the music and entertainment industry to learn all about the work he is doing and has done in both fields, and to highlight an important initiative that he's raising awareness for in his latest album. After that, we'll meet with a Black Christian content creator who talks about her inspirations for creating, the significance of her journey with Christ and being Black, as well as balancing school and creating faith also. Plus, Bobby C, he steps into the room, kaboom! Here's the latest in the world of sports. And then finally, we'll hear from a Black multidisciplinary theater artist who will share with us about her start in theater and what she teaches students, her work and upcoming projects. All of this and more. Stay tuned. It's coming your way. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. Here we go. Hey, everybody, I'm your host, the Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is a children's author. He's here to speak about his children's book, I Am Dreaming of a Brown Christmas. Can you sing it? I'm dreaming of a brown Christmas. And he also has that book, When Good Fruits Go Bad. So please welcome to the show, Vernon Gibbs II. Yeah, there's two of them. Vernon, how you doing? Welcome. Nice to see you again.
Yes, nice to see you again. Well, I'm sorry Steven couldn't be here. He's actually celebrating his 30th wedding anniversary, so he does send his best wishes to you. But thank you for having us.
Tell him I say congratulations.
Thank you. I definitely will.
All right. Well, tell us about this Cuzzo Media and how you guys got involved with it.
Yeah, so my cousin and I, obviously we've been cousins our entire life, and we've always had an artistic background, wanted to do something together. So we started kind of thinking about the kind of projects we wanted to do. We started doing some funny videos online, parody videos and some animated stuff. And then we started thinking a little bit about books and children's books. I have 3 kids of my own, twins who are now 7, boy-girl twins, and then a 9-year-old boy. And I read a lot of children's books. So I said to myself, maybe there's some books that we could write. So that's how we started Puzzles and talking about doing, children's media.
Mm-hmm. And now you have it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, so we have a YouTube channel. If you go to our website, puzzlesmedia.com, there are links to kind of everything we've done. We've done some music videos around the Christmas book. We've done some social emotional learning videos around the fruit book, When Good Fruit Goes Bad. So we're trying to kind of hit everyone in different ways as far as kind of seeing and consuming our content.
Check this out. What is this right here?
So this is a social emotional learning video that we did that kind of breaks down what's happening, in the book about, talking about how the apple feels after being thrown in the trash. And my wife is a psychiatrist. She said, there's a lot of lessons in this book that can kind of come out of it beyond just, eating healthy. And she thought that we could do some social emotional learning videos. And we've done about 3 or 4 of those. We're looking to expand that more next year and kind of create an actual curriculum around these videos, because we know that I'm a substitute teacher, and I see in the classroom need for these types of videos and this kind of content.
I hear that you are in demand as far as, as a teacher, substitute teacher. They're looking for you all over the place. Phones are ringing right now.
They really are, literally. I mean, I'm getting turning away calls just because they need teachers in the district. And I love doing it. I always teach at my kids' school. I don't always teach their class, but sometimes they have me in. And there's definitely a need for teachers. And, I give teachers all the credit, because it is not easy to be in a classroom, create lesson plans, and do that kind of thing. So it's been great.
Yeah, let's go back to that video tape, because you can hear a piece of it in the background going. And I said, thank you for listening. I think that wrapped it up right there, right?
Oh, there you go. It was like the end of
There
the
it is.
video, right? Yeah.
All right, hold up. Let's
So
check it
yeah,
out. Let's check it out. That's really cool the way you put that together. All right. So you go into the schools with this also?
yes,
How do
I
you,
go to the schools. I do in-person meetings during COVID. I did a lot of Zoom meetings, and that
yeah.
actually got people once Zoom was over and COVID was kind of it's not over, but once people were back in the schools, I have a lot of people having me come in and do in-person readings where I do reading about. I read the book. I have a story time. We have a interactive drawing exercise that I do at the end, so kids can learn how to draw the characters as well. And as you can see, the Christmas book has been really the reception has been great. It's carried in Barnes and Noble in Clifton. We're hoping to expand to Targets and Walmarts in the next year and so.
There
So
you go.
we'll see what happens with everything. It's been
Yeah,
really great. Both books have been really successful.
that's beautiful. I'm dreaming of a brown Christmas. What propelled you, or what got you into writing that or putting it together?
Again, me and Steve were thinking of some ideas. Steve said one day he was kind of just singing in the shower the original song, I'm dreaming of Christmas, and he was like, "What if we talked about the brown thing, brownstone, brownstones in the city, hot cocoa, and those kind of things?" And I said, "That's a great idea. Let's
Yeah.
write that. Let's put it together and make it a book." We did a Kickstarter that raised funds to print the book, and now we have a paperback on Amazon. He did all the illustrations for it. It's been really great. The reception has been awesome, and we've been just working to get more exposure around it, kind of the grassroots thing, coming on shows, going to do Girl Scout readings, doing in-person readings at stores. It's been really great.
That's a good thing. And then you came up with another one, When Good Fruits Go Bad. What's that about?
Yeah, so When Good Fruits Go Bad was like the original book that we put together,
That
and
was the
that was
first
kind of
one.
yeah, that was the very first one. We want to do a sequel, maybe When Good Fruits Goes Bad 2. We'll see. We'll see. I know a lot of kids who are like, "Where's the next one? What happens with the vegetables?" So that's the hope that the next book
Ah,
will be, When Veggies Go Bad or something about that, or maybe about not eating so much candy. We don't know. We're kind of thinking of some ideas. So we have some stuff out there we're going to do.
that's good. That's what's coming up. Anything that we can
Yeah.
come to or we can check out? Anything happening that we should know about?
I would say, focus on, look at my Instagram. We have I'm doing some vendor events at our at the Berkeley School, which is where my kids go to school. We're doing some things at local places in around. So I always update Instagram with whatever events we're doing. We're doing some contests on our Instagram with other authors to give away
Uh-huh.
their books, books that show some diversity in Christmas books. So they're trying to just stay busy because this is the holiday season, and once Christmas go ends, then we kind of focus back on the fruit book. But right now, it's like the prime time for Christmas books, and diversity is really in, which is great because we need
Yeah.
more diversity, especially in holiday books. So we hope to just keep, doing events weekly until Christmas comes.
So if people want you to get involved with them, or how can they reach out to you? They want you to
The
come
best
to their
way is to go to
school, or
yeah, the best way is go to our website, cuzzlesmedia.com, www.cuzzlesmedia.com. That is the best place for all of our information. And then, anything that we're doing, they want to get in contact with us, they can always email us at cuzzlespublishingandmedia@gmail.com. If they just want to drop a note and say hello, if they have questions about, creating original content, which we want to do more drawings and more books for other authors, we can help with that too, including creating animation and doing original content for them.
that's beautiful. Give us that website one more time.
Yeah, www.cuzzos, Cuzzos media.com.
Vernon,
So
thank you so much, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Same here. Thanks for having me.
All right. All right, we'll take a quick break right here. I've got more, a whole lot more coming up next on Open.
COVID-19 has changed how we spend weekends with the girls. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to brunching instead of late night munching. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it?
Is it safe? Should I wait?
It's okay to have questions. Now get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee, and our next guest is a lawyer, believe it or not, a lawyer, songwriter, and producer. And he joins us to speak about how he's got into the music industry and, more importantly, to highlight his album, Choose Life. Remember that, Choose Life, and the important message behind it. So please welcome to the show, Derrick D.Y. McDaniel. Derrick, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Thank you for having me.
Derrick, what does the D.Y. stand for?
You know what? The DY is more of a family thing. My mom used to call me D,
Yeah.
and so it was always D. Why did you do this? D. Why did you do that? D. Why? And a little cousin came over one time, and she was like 2 or 3, and so she thought it was DY. She thought my name was DY, and so she started calling me that, and it became like a kind of a family joke. And so it's one of those things that my mom passed away several years ago.
God bless
It
her.
always reminds her. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
thank
God
you.
bless her.
So every time I hear that, it actually reminds me of her, and it makes me smile. So
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Mom is always with you, you know. Mom's with you every step of the way, always.
absolutely.
So
So
you have a number of things that you've come through. Of course, you're a lawyer. You got the MBA.
Yep.
And you got a couple of degrees behind you. And then what made you switch off and say, hey, you know what? I want to do the music thing?
well, you know what? It was mine has been an interesting journey. I have the law degree. I have the MBA. I was blessed enough to work on Wall Street for a few years. But the music is really where my passion is. I was blessed to do well in my career, but I've never felt as comfortable or as I don't know as comfortable and as focused as I am when I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
So it was the way to go.
And that's a good thing, too, because you know a little bit about the business. A lot of artists, they come into this game and they don't know too much about the business. They just want the bragging rights of signing with a record company and saying, hey, I got a big deal. But you know business and you're a lawyer, so you can handle most of the stuff yourself.
I might be able to, but I've been really fortunate. My lawyer, Achan Wol, shout out to Achan Wol.
Yeah.
He's been in the music business for the last 25 years. He came up in Bad Boy.
Yeah.
He's worked with some of the biggest artists out there. Some of his current clients are like Rottweiler. He does work for Cardi. So I'll leave the lawyer stuff to him, but at least I can understand
Exactly.
Oh.
So you'll know the deal. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and where you're from and how you got into the music industry.
Well, okay. I'm from New York, up in the Bronx. So that's home, always has been, always will be, absolutely. I spent several years living in Brooklyn, so that's familiar ground to me as well. Shout out to Bed-Stuy.
Do or die.
Absolutely. So it's changed, but it's still the same. So that's really where my New York roots were. But my mom was in the military, and so we traveled around the world, and that was also good for me. I got to see how other people live and how other people think and move. So, and all of that has influenced me as a person and definitely as an artist.
Synesthesia. What is it? Tell us all about it.
You know what? That's a really fancy word somebody told me, but it really just comes down to mean that the way other people see colors, that's really how I hear sound, and that's how I put together words and beats because they just sort of match to me. So it's like frequently when I'm speaking to people. For example, frequently when I'm speaking to people and we're working on music and stuff, I'll say something sounds light or sounds dark to me. And so that word really just means that I sort of hear the way other people see colors.
Yeah.
So
and that's the way it is, but you know how to analyze it. You know how to pick it apart.
So far, it's been going pretty well. It's been going pretty well. Yes. So
Good.
I mean, when you listen to a beat, it has to be able to work together, pretty much the way someone would put together an outfit or something like that.
Yeah.
So the beats have to go together, the lyrics have to match. Being able to find that way to deliver a line, and just so that you sort of ride that beat. Well, it's the same way as, I guess, a person would paint a picture
No, I
and be
get it.
able to put it all together. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
get it.
but for
So,
the record, I can't paint it all.
so let me move on. You got this record called Choose Life. How did you
Yes.
choose that? And what was the reasons behind it?
You know what? Choose Life is really an anti-suicide song, and it's a really upbeat, up-tempo track. But honestly, it came from a very sad place. A very good friend of mine and business mentor actually committed suicide, and that really took me off center as a person, because he pretty much had everything that I ever wanted in terms of the business side.
Yeah.
And fast forward a couple of years when the former Miss USA committed suicide in Manhattan. That was really the spark that made me write the song, because I wrote it the night that I read that she had committed suicide. And as a father of two young daughters, it's something that concerns me as a person, first and foremost, and as a father, first and foremost, because if you look at the statistics, which I started doing after my friend committed suicide,
Yeah.
Up until very recently, suicide was the leading cause of death for kids 18
Yeah.
and younger. And so as a parent, that's a terrifying sort of thing. And so I guess it hit me when the former Miss USA killed herself, and I wanted to do something as an artist so that we could start talking about these sort of things and start having those conversations, and for lack of a better word, start to normalize the conversations around it. So
you never know what's in the minds of people, what to make them want to take the only life they're ever going to have. They can be smiling in your face and everything. You don't know what's going on behind, backstage. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And as I say in the song, you don't want to use a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Yeah.
And that's really what suicide is. Because and I don't mean to minimize this at all, because you have a lot of people out there in a lot of pain. But from the folks that I've talked to, most of the time, even though it may never feel like it, those are temporary problems. And so, there are people that you can talk to, there are resources that you can go and get some help, or to whatever tiny part this song can play in this process. Listen to the song, and hopefully it'll give you a little bit of hope, a little bit of inspiration, help you know that you're not alone. So that's really where the song came from.
Beautiful. Where can people find more about your music and more about what you're doing and how you're doing it?
Well, you can definitely check me out on IG at DY McDaniel16, or you can check me out on SoundCloud at DY McDaniel16. Look for the website that's coming out very, very soon. So that you'll be hearing a lot more about me, God willing, in the very near future. So I'm starting some collaborations with some other artists. Mr. Stanley Brown, shout out to you. I mentioned Rockwaller. So we're as soon as we can coordinate schedules, we're supposed to do some stuff. I've also, through the grace of God, I've been invited to join the Beat Club, which is Timberland's new venture. So you'll be hearing some stuff from me.
Well, listen, thank you. Thank you for coming on and letting us hear all about what you're getting ready to do. All right, Derrick D.Y. McDaniel. Yeah, Derrick D.Y. McDaniel, songwriter, producer, Choose Life.
Always. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it.
All right. Happy holidays, everybody.
Take
care.
We'll take a break. I've got more open. Hey, it's on the way next.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and our next guest is a Black Christian content creator whose YouTube videos have gone viral, bam, all over the place and garnered millions of views. Welcome to the show, Achan Wol. Welcome, Achan.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You ready? You ready? You ready? Now, I know how you got those millions of views with that beautiful smile that you have, and you're creating some wonderful content, I hear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, wait a minute. You were born where?
I was born in Beverly, Massachusetts,
Uh-huh.
and I was raised in Lynn, Massachusetts.
Ah.
So it's just a little outside Boston.
Uh-huh. And you're going to school?
I'm going to school at UMass Amherst. It's my sophomore year, and I'm studying finance at their business school, and I'm also an IT minor.
Achan, you're moving well. Look at that. You're moving well. You just got into it and you're moving well. What inspired you to become a content creator?
So, honestly, growing up, I was online watching YouTubers, but I didn't see a lot of dark-skinned people, first of all, or many African people. So, I've always had an eye for just video editing, recording, photography. So one day I was just like, let me try this. And I started when I was maybe around 13, or I've just been doing it since then and growing, learning new skills, and just trying to spread some positivity and light onto them.
Well, you're doing your thing, man. All these people, how'd you get so many people following you? You must be doing something right.
I guess I feel like people find like me relatable in a sense because the YouTube community can be very oversaturated with a lot of different type of creators. And I feel like a lot of people resonated seeing a person of color just living authentically. And that's really what I want to portray, that black joy, black love, all that.
Dude, I can feel that. I can feel that. What type of videos are we talking about now?
Well, I make lifestyle content, and I'm transitioning towards some more fashion content, but majority lifestyle vlogs, showing people what I do on a day-to-day. Yeah.
Beautiful. And people just climb right onto that and say, hey, I want to know more about that. I noticed that you have a relationship with Christ, and talk about him in your YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm. God, I didn't start making content about God at first, but as I grew, life happens, things happen, and you're trying to find an outlet. You're trying to find someone that will hear you. And I had an encounter with God, I want to say when I was around 15, and I'm 19 years old now. So I've been walking with God for 4 years now, and I just started implementing that into my channel.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's just it's a part of my lifestyle. So I was like, might as well show it to the people, show it to other Christians, other young Black girls that might not know where they can go. And just to know that they have that support, they have someone greater who loves them, who wants to be with them,
Yeah, yeah. What was that encounter like at age 15, that encounter with God?
So I grew up, I went to a private school, elementary school and middle school. So I grew up Catholic, and I was just really used to, reciting prayers, but I didn't really know who I was talking to at the end of the day. But I remember one day my older sister, who was a junior in high school at the time, we shared a room. So she she was questioning her faith, and she was just asking whoever was up there, like, who are you? Make yourself known to me. And I was in the room with her, so she would have these encounters with Christ, and she would tell me, like, Achan, you should pray, you should pray, you should pray. And eventually one day, like, I remember I was like in the bathroom, upset about something, crying, and I was just like, God, like, I need you. And instantly, it was supernatural.
Oh,
Instantly,
wow.
this peace just came upon me, and I just felt still, and I felt his presence. That was the first time I felt his presence, and I was like, okay, wow, like, there's
Wow.
something here. I'll cling on to it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you have that peace. You have that peace about you right now too. I can feel it. I can see it. I can see it.
Praise
And
God.
that's why a
Thank
lot of
you.
people are jumping on, to what you're doing. They can feel that inner peace that you exude, that you present, that you
Mm,
put out there. I think that's a
thank
beautiful
you.
thing. You go, girl. Achan is doing her
Thank you.
thing. All right. I'm gonna follow you too. Um,
Thank you.
how do you shuffle all of this though? You're a college student at UMass Amherst. How do you balance your schoolwork, social life, and your content creating? How do you make it all work?
Mm.
God.
It's Yeah, no, literally. It's definitely hard at times. Like, finals
Hmm.
are right around the corner. I'm also part of an e-board of a Christian organization here at UMass, where we try to just reach out to students. We have Sunday services, all that. So I do public relations for that, and also clubs and homework. What I try
Wow.
to do is just keep my camera like with me and just vlog when just record myself when I feel comfortable. And I really try to get my routine down. Like,
Yeah.
that's the main thing, having my routine, blocking out when I'm going to spend time with God, blocking out the times I'm going to edit. So I just try my best.
Yeah. Well, you're making it happen. You're making it work. That's for sure. And
Thank you.
yeah, we thank you for coming on with us. What's next? Anything big coming up that we should know more about?
Well, I'm planning on just really uploading more videos, more scoops into my life, and definitely more fashion content coming onto my channel later. And also just branching out on other platforms such as TikTok. And yeah, just definitely stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Watch out. Here we come. We're coming. Any words of wisdom for those who are inspiring Black influencers and Christian content creators? Words of wisdom. What would you tell them?
I would say some people might believe that there's just so many influencers out there now. But first of all, if you're a child of Christ, you're set apart, God will have favor on your life. And if it's really something that you feel called to do, definitely pray about it and go for it. And I believe that don't feel as if the field is too oversaturated. There's too many influencers already doing this. There's too many lifestyle vloggers, fashion, because everyone has a unique thing that they bring to the table. So just try and find that and put it into your work, put it into your video, be consistent, and don't stop. Like, even if the numbers can be, discouraging at times, just keep persisting.
Yeah. And hit them with a prayer. Hit us with one of your prayers.
Okay. Father God, I thank you. And I just pray for everyone who is watching this, Lord. I pray that the Holy Spirit can be with them, Lord. Touch their hearts. Allow them to feel your love, Lord. And just allow them to remember that you're there for them, that you love them. Lead their steps, guide them, Father God. And just bring them that peace. Bring them that inner peace that you bring, Lord. You are a wonderful God, and we praise you, Lord. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. All right. Woo. And for people who want to follow you, where do they go?
You can check out my YouTube channel. It's Achan Wol, ACHANWOL. My Instagram is Achan Wol with 2 N's. And my TikTok is Achan WOI. So check me out.
And for people who want to hire you to do things to help them with their content, do you do that?
Yes, I have a creative agency where I help people. I create like channel banners, intros, all that stuff. So definitely reach out to me on my email at achanwolmanagement@gmail.com. My team and I will love to help.
My team and I. Go ahead, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having
Achan
me.
Wol. Yes. All right. She's a Black Christian content creator, and she's got it going on. Thank you for all that you do. We appreciate you, and God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
And remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. Achan, we love you.
I love you.
All right. We'll take a quick break right here. But up next, Bobby C. He has the latest in the world of sports. All coming your way next on Open. Stay tuned.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
We begin this look at sports with the red-hot Fordham men's basketball team. The Rams are the talk of the Bronx and starting to get some whispers around the country following their triumph over Tulane, seen right here. Standout transfer and New York City product Khalid Moore had 23 points in Fordham's 95-90 win against Tulane. Moore had 10 rebounds for the now 8-1 Rams. Moore's 20-point second half helped Fordham close out the 5-point victory. Darius Quisenberry also scored 23 points, going 8 of 16 from the floor, including 4 for 10 from distance and 3 for 6 from the free throw line. It all added up to the 7th straight win for the Rams. They were expected to be as good or maybe a little bit better than last season, but I would say that they are ahead of schedule and really turning some heads right now. They'll need to keep it going as conference play opens up in the month of December. That will be the true test for this incredible start for Fordham. Hoops is also back in a big way when it comes to Hoops in the Sun. Hits kicked off its fall league the first week in December. The league will run until the end of January at the Longwood PAL on Longwood Avenue right here in the Bronx. If you can't make it out to the games, you can watch the popular Summer League indoors on their YouTube page this offseason. That's youtube.com/Hoops in the Sun. Hits has become an all-around basketball tournament all year around, but summertime is still prime time and prime time of season, and that's the focus of our Turn Back the Clock this morning. I figured this look back could warm us up here in the month of December. Here's a classic, the Hits All-Star Game from 2012.
Now in its 13th season at Orchard Beach in the Bronx, Hoops in the Sun continues to delight crowds with the only beachside community basketball program in New York City. Sunday was dubbed the Bash at the Beach, the annual All-Star Game, and it pitted the best of the best from Hits against the best from Washington, D.C.'s Goodman League. It was no contest. Hits dominated, winning 132-116.
Oh, no, we don't make no excuses. We got here in time enough to play. We didn't defend the pick and roll. We got a rebound. We didn't do that. We didn't do nothing that it takes to win a basketball game today. So the New York team deserves all the credit.
It was a great showing for a basketball tournament that first aired on BronxNet TV and has grown exponentially, with the Cruz brothers carrying on the legacy of their late great father, Joe Pops Cruz.
That's what I live for. You know, my dad had a vision for this to be the East Coast Venice Beach, and it's just a matter of me putting it together and figuring out how to make it happen. And so far, by today, having a Goodman League here and bringing DC up here. It's been 8 years since he's passed away, and, you know, it's about time that my brother and I take it to a different level and then, just create our own legacy.
Street ball legend and former Fordham University standout Adrian Walton, a.k.a. A-Butta, was among the many local stars in the game, but his star shined brightest as he took home MVP honors. Can you rank for me what it is to be the Hoops in the Sun All-Star Game MVP?
Oh, man, it feels great because I told them I was going to come up here, I was going to play every game, and when I play in every game, I want to make sure that they give me my full recognition. So it feels good to finally get my full recognition, and it's not going to stop here. This is just one of the accolades.
He had a sensational season. Like you said, he's made some big shots. He had the crowd behind him. It was almost a given.
Bronx native Mike Glover teamed with fellow Iona College product Scott Machado and Walton on the winning side. He was most proud of the Bronx and the New York City All-Stars on this Sunday.
We have 12, one of the best 12 guys in the city going against a team from D.C., from a different state. You have to bring the best, you know what I'm saying? I felt we brought the best today.
It is without question that Hits has come a long way in 13 years.
Regardless of what you do, you got to have the passion. You got to believe in your product. If you feel your product is 100%, no matter what you do, it's gonna rise above.
How about a rematch? The two leagues will now square off in D.C.
It's about us, me supporting Joe Cruz League. So we're doing a home and home. And we're looking forward to them coming down in 2 weeks.
We'll keep the theme of all-stars in place here as we segue to pro hoops on the show. The 1-2 punch of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving was on full display in their win over Toronto. Kevin Durant broke a tie with a three-pointer with 57 seconds left and had 27 points to help the Nets beat the Raptors 109-105. Durant's three gave Brooklyn a 105-102 lead. Meantime, Irving led the Nets with 30 points. The Nets trailed 79-69 late in the third quarter, but Patty Mills' three-pointer capped a 9-0 run as Brooklyn pulled to 79-78 after three quarters. The streak continued into the final quarter with Brooklyn scoring the first 8 points to go ahead 86-79. Then KD and Kyrie closed it out. Here's more from the Nets locker room.
Shots going in. We got a couple favorable matchups with some teams being a little banged up there. But all in all, I think we're moving the basketball well. We're covering for each other on the defensive side of the ball. And, we're playing as a unit on both ends. So we continue that, then we'll be trending in the right direction. They throw a lot of different defenses at you. They might box in one, triangle two, press you all game, press you for a few minutes out of time. Full court trap, so they just try all types of stuff, and I think we just stay poised through it all. I mean, we used to teams throwing all types of defenses at us, so we go through it in film, we practice it, so we was able to hit the extra pass tonight. We made some great looks. We had 27 assists, but I felt we could have had 35, 36 with the amount of shots that we missed that were open. So we just stay patient when they start to swarm.
On the NFL gridiron, the New York Giants couldn't close out Washington and will have to settle for a stalemate. When the NFL season began 3 months ago, few prognosticators had the Giants and the Commanders battling for playoff spots. Both teams came in with 7 wins and are in position to make the postseason because of their ball control offenses and stingy defenses. They gave this matchup extra meaning with a month remaining in the regular season. Perhaps it is fitting that the game between similar teams went to overtime and ended in a 20-20 tie. The result, which left the Giants at 7-4-1 and the Commanders at 7-5-1, further complicates the challenging stretch run for both teams. Here's more with Giants quarterback Daniel Jones.
We're all pretty disappointed with the result. Certainly not the one we were looking for. So we'll go back to work and clean up a lot of things. But yeah, I think it's safe to say we're disappointed, but looking forward to getting back to work and working on the things we got to improve on. It's not a loss. It's not a win either. So I think you understand that part of it. But I think just disappointed that we could have played better, could have taken advantage of some situations and won the game. So that's the disappointing part. But it's not a loss. I think we understand that. But we'll look to improve going forward.
Giants still have 2 games with first place Philadelphia looming. Can't say that I'm excited about that. Met fans are thrilled to have one piece of their championship puzzle retained in free agency. Edwin Diaz is the biggest piece to the bullpen puzzle that general manager Billy Epler needs to solve this offseason for the Mets. And in a Zoom press conference, Diaz speaking publicly for the first time since signing the most lucrative contract for a relief pitcher, $102 million for 5 years. The closer says he had faith that the Mets would find a way to build another solid relief corps for this upcoming season. Here's more.
It was the number one priority for me and my family was staying in New York because we love the city of New York. We love the team, the organization. They treat us greatly. Like we feel proud of that family. When I talked to Billy and Steve after the season, and I let them know like I want to stay here when I want to come back, and they appreciate that. And when the start of the World Series started, we start talking, and we reached a deal really quick because we know what we want, and we was really pleased about the deal.
With Edwin, it came together, like you said, pretty quickly because we had the ability to talk early and because there was clear interest on both sides to make this happen. I touched base with a number of our other, free agents to be. It felt that Edwin was in a position where he wanted to engage at that moment in time, and we wanted to make something happen. So it connected, and here we are today.
That's the good news for Mets fans. The bad, two-time Cy Young Award winner Jacob deGrom agrees to a 5-year, $185 million contract with the Texas Rangers, bringing the most talented pitcher in baseball from the Amazons to a pitching-starved organization that is making massive free agent investments for the second straight offseason. The 34-year-old deGrom, who spent all 9 seasons of his major league career with the Mets, opted out of the final 2 years of his contract despite throwing just 64 1/3 innings in 2022. He missed the first 4 months of the season with a stress reaction in his shoulder, and injuries limited him to 224 1/3 innings over the past 3 seasons. Texas looked past those issues and to the potential for deGrom to be a transformative figure in the organization. Those are the headlines to the C-list for a transformative figure in motorsports. Amy Chadwick has been racing's most obvious success story when it comes to women in motorsport. I watched her completely outclass the competition in Austin, Texas last season, securing another W Series championship. In fact, she won every single W Series championship in the sport's existence. Now she's moving on to a new challenge here in the States. She'll be the first woman to compete in Indy Next, formerly known as Indy Lights, the junior open wheel category just below IndyCar. And if you could fathom it, she becomes the first in a whopping 13 years when she hits the grid with Andretti Autosport in 2023. We caught up with Chadwick on the exciting news.
It means a huge amount. I think, it's one thing having the opportunity to now step up and progress into a championship like Indy Next, but it's another to be doing it with a team like Andretti. I think everyone wants these opportunities and very few people get them. So I'm very, very grateful. And with that, it wouldn't be possible without the likes of DHL. So I'm really excited by it. I first came over to test with the team earlier in the year, and I had a really, really good feeling about it. I was in the process of weighing up options. Do I stay in Europe? Where's the best move, I guess, for me beyond the W Series? And the feeling I got over in America and involved with the Indy Next Championship and the team in Andretti, it just felt like a really good natural fit. So I'm very excited. It's going to be definitely a good step up. There's a lot of hard work that's going to go into the next few months, but I'm excited for it and looking forward to what's to come.
So excited to see her in IndyCar, and to me, it's a sensible move for Chadwick. The free-to-enter W Series provided her with a place to regularly compete, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to amass enough funding to progress into an F1 ladder series like Formula 2 or Formula 3. Indy Next is another great option since the barriers to entry are a little less complex than you'll find in European categories. Andretti Autosport 2 is an excellent team. It won the Indy Lights Team Championship in 2022, and it plays a competitive role, of course, in IndyCar in the top series. While she'll still retain her ties with Williams Racing in Formula 1, It has grown more and more unlikely that Chadwick will actually end up in the highest level of European open-wheel racing for multiple reasons, including experience, sponsorship, and age. Chadwick joining IndyCar is exciting, but it also highlights just how rare it is to see a woman in active motorsport. Chadwick is the first woman to race full-time in Indy since Pippa Mann, who contested with Panther Racing in 2009 and finished 14th overall in the championship. Needless to say, Chadwick's presence will be much anticipated. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C. Keep it locked right here on Open. Be back after this.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
But you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a course online.
You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
You can now watch MNN, Brick TV, QPTV, and SIC TV on BronxNet. Tune in to BX Omni, Channel 67 Optimum, 2133 Files during most Sunday evenings. We'll show you some amazing content from our friends at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, Brick TV in Brooklyn, Queens Public Television, and Staten Island Community Television. Every borough represented in the Boogie Down. Epic partnerships for the ages. And catch our new Next channel, produced in partnership with MNN, 24/7 on BronxNet Channel 952 Optimum and 2138 Fios.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, making it into a song.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Come start time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, love you always.
Everything I do,
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
And welcome back. Oh, so nice to see you. Thank you for checking us out, too. Our next guest is a Black multidisciplinary theater artist who is based in New York and finds importance in performing and creating in theater, as well as teaching others about it. So please welcome to the show, Sifiso Mabena. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to look down to make sure that I got the name right because, you know, you pronounce it like what?
My surname, my last name?
Yes, you pronounce it like what?
Sifiso Mabena.
Sifiso Mabena. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we got that curved right. Sifiso, what does a Sifiso mean?
Sifiso means wish.
Wish. All right, I'm going to write that down. Wish upon
I'm
a
an
star.
only child.
Oh, you
I
are?
think that my parents were excited, yeah, that I was their wish.
Oh, beautiful. And Mabena, of course, is your family name.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Beautiful. So tell us about some of the things that you've been doing. You've been you got into what you're into right now. How did you get into it? Where did it all come from?
You know, when I was 6, I just announced to the family that I was going to be an actor. You know, I had like an essay to write in primary school, and I wrote that when I grow up, I'm going to be an actor.
Oh, wow.
And from the mouth of babes, I guess,
Yeah.
because that's exactly what I went on to do. And I think my first professional job was when I was 19. I was still studying at university. I went to Rhodes University in South Africa. And in my second year, I got a job in a Shakespeare play, playing Paulina in A Winter's Tale. And I think that was my first professional start. But all through school, I was involved in like theater competitions, in writing, in performing, like making speeches. I just have
Yeah.
always loved the stage.
But you see how it works? Oh, look at you. Wait a
The
minute.
show, that's my first professional
Is
job.
it?
That's yeah.
What show was that?
That was A Winter's Tale, and I was playing Paulina, and that was when the queen had died, and I was upset about it.
Wow, you can tell you're into character and everything. You're right there. Right there. You know, and you've been doing it for some time, but see, it's always important to tell what you want to do. When you say it, you better believe it, because what you say, you're going to follow. And you may become that. What is this right here?
This was the last show I did right before the pandemic. This closed in February of 2020. This was Riddle of the Trilobites at New Victory Theater, and I played Afra. I'm also a puppeteer. I think that this show is the thing that sort of made people call me a puppeteer. It started as a rumor, and eventually I really became a puppeteer, and that show I think was a big part of that.
Yeah. Wow. See, you're following a lot of those things that are just coming out. So yeah, I can do that. I can do that too. I can do the multidisciplinary theater stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what makes it multidisciplinary?
That's a really good question. Is that it's multiple ways of storytelling. I think of it as multiple modes of storytelling. That here maybe music and singing is most effective in telling this story or sharing this story. Here maybe puppetry is the best way to share this. Maybe it's like drama, like a well-made play. Maybe it's dance, right? And so my work is really about intuitively following what mode of storytelling is best for this current issue that we're dealing with.
And you're also a teacher. Look at you. You're in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do your students call you?
So it depends. So I was a high school teacher before I moved to America, and I taught at an international high school, and they called me Miss Mabena and ma'am. I was referred to as ma'am or Miss Mabena. But then when I started teaching at colleges, at LaGuardia Community College, they insisted on calling me Professor Mabena or Professor Sifiso, which I was like, just call me Sifiso. And at Sarah Lawrence, everyone just called me Sifiso, which was great.
That's beautiful. Now, wait a minute. We have a clip of you doing your thing. Let's go to that clip. Let's show a piece of this.
I am a negative Zimbabwean. Like an art.
arts teacher, and she told me that I could draw by not focusing on the outline of an object, but rendering the negative space around it. I wasn't there when my country was formed as a nation, but I learned from my family and from school that I should be.
So, Sifiso, tell us what that was all about there.
That's an excerpt from the show that I just performed at Dixon Place earlier this year in the summer, called Sunflower.
Uh-huh.
And Sunflower was really an exploration about family and nation, and how like nations are like families, and families are like nations in many ways. And all of the love that exists in families exists in nations, and all of the complicated feelings that we have in family and the tensions exist in countries. And so I was coming to terms with that for myself, but also using my personal story to do that. So I recently found out, you were asking me how to pronounce my last name, Mabena. I actually just found out that my family has a different name, and that I'm not the tribe I grew up believing that I was. And so Sunflower was an exploration of that personal story, of me coming to terms with that, and also about making home in new places. We hear a lot of stories about people who are uprooted from their places, like because of famine or war. But there are also instances where people uproot themselves in search of better opportunities for themselves. And I wanted to share that story. So that's what you were watching just now.
Great, great, great. I like the work that you're doing. Yeah. I really, really love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Where can people find more about you and what you're doing?
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is @FisoPearl. I also have a website, fisopearlmabena.com. And yeah, that's where I mostly post what the goings on are.
Beautiful.
And that's my email too. You can email me if you need any advice. I love talking to people. I love connecting with artists and hearing people's stories.
Well, you're definitely a pearl. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing, okay?
That's so kind. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Truly an honor.
Sifiso. Yes, Sifiso Mabena. We appreciate you and thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Go forth and teach the world. Thank you. All right. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you. I want to thank all of our tuners for tuning in. Our tuners, yes, thank you for tuning in and checking it all out. Make sure you follow us on BronxNet.TV for continued coverage. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time. And always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. Join hosts Kip and Arlene, Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentine on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for all new episode of Open. And I'll catch you over 107.5 WBLS. Catch you another day, another way. I love you all. The Dr. Bob Lee. Peace.